what is the routine we can do to help ourselves to make sure we get those better positions? Because yes, when you won the fight, it's good, totally. Like you also kept the point, right? So that is great. But then right after the won fight, yeah, because the next fight is about to start, but we're not ready yet. Yeah, what do we do exactly? What do we have to do exactly to make sure we have this better positioning? Yeah, what do you think? How do you avoid these situations happening? Because right now, the fight is over, okay? We identified when there's advantage, you can look to do something else, like go on this better positions, especially when your team is safe, like they're okay, like around here. Yeah, so what do you think can help you?
If we get like the after we capture the point,
Mhm,
maybe the mentality like you always need to think
mhm.
like we finish the fight. I need to get to the better positioning.
Yeah, I would say just maybe phrasing it this way is okay. I would also add kind of looking to scout for what's going on. Okay, like right after every fight, like that's what we call an engagement flow, sort of. We can say you're constantly looking to like set up and then scout for information, find information, look what's going on. It's not only about your team, it's also about the enemy team. Yeah, what is really important, where they are, what they about to do. Once you set up, well, you can do the scouting, and then you can look to do the engage part. So yeah, that is right here, because we missing on scouting like exactly what is happening in the next fight, what will be happening next fight. Like this positioning is not helping that much to like also scout as well. We can just say, yeah, like I can position right here. And one more thing which can be helpful is thinking how to set up this better a better map control. Yeah, because your team composition is really depends on angles. I would say it this way: if your Genji is gonna be taking off angle, you can take off angle as well, like by playing on the high ground. Maybe you play over here. Some of your team they can play like over there. Yeah, and that creates multiple angles of pressure, which is giving you better map control, because your team's shooting from the one side, you shoot from another. Yeah, maybe let's say even from Syria perspective, if someone's this position, like let's call it A, and this position is B. If our team is pressuring from A, some of our members, the enemy team, they'll try to maybe hide around this spot, or they'll try to go back this spot. Yeah, and then because it position B, you can just easily kill them. So angle control is important. Having multiple angles of attack is important, but be careful with being too isolated, right? So that is where you mentioned Mercy. That is good that she can be with you. That's why we do take angles, but we can say we only take angles in a way which allows our team to support us. We don't want to be too far away, yeah, too flanky, because the Winston can easily dive you. There's also Sombra in the ranked matches. She's pretty annoying. Sometimes she can just hug you,
Yeah,
and then a lot of damage is gonna go in your face. So, yeah. It's just something to think about, because if you would have the better map control here, yeah, because the enemy team, they attack you in this way, yeah, like they are just collapsed together. If we would say, so your team composition is more divey, like we mentioned, so you have this dive core, okay? What kind of core the enemy team composition has? Is it like still more about the dive, or maybe it's brawl, spam? Yeah, those like three general things. Yeah, so it's like some parts with a brawl, some parts with a dive, but this team composition, because of the Lucio, Moira, and Reaper, actually they're more about like brawl. Yeah, it's just what do we call some hybrid team composition. Some people can say it's like brawl, dive hybrid, yeah, and your team composition is dive,
yeah.
spam hybrid. But what really is important about those team compositions is that just identifying the main core, really identifying what your team composition is about. And I would say what I would pay attention to, which helps you a lot, which would help you a lot, is how you guys set up, how the your team is set up, and how the enemy team is set up. So we didn't mention angle control is important with dive team composition, and how the brawl usually sets up.
They play stacked usually.
Yeah, exactly. So that is your differentiation. Like, do they play stacked, or do they play more of a angly? Yeah, do they take more angles? That can help you a lot with whatever team composition you pay attention to. If you know they are stacked, that means these guys are really strong in one direction. So if you clump together, these guys can easily punish you. See, like the way they push you as well. You guys just stay in one location. Okay. Now, because they're really strong in the one direction, like they're stacked resources, well, some of them are divey, but that's okay. Most of them are just, coming from in front. The Reaper, the Moira, okay, and then they push you in one direction in this tiny room continuously, and then, yeah, it's just so easy for them.
So easy for them.
Yeah,
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 exactly.
exactly. So when you play against Paroli team composition, and you have that Teamcomp with you, just take this angle control and use that. Yeah, there are multiple reasons for it. Like I mentioned, the information also helps you to make a right decision. But yeah, even if you know the matchup, just that helps you already know. Oh, you know your team is dive, so you play angles because, well, especially because they have brawl, and at the same time, we can also have the specific routine of setup, scout, engage before every fight. Yeah,
Every
just
fight. Yeah.
every fight. Yeah, exactly. Just have this routine. We won the fight. Like, let's say right there, we don't have an advantage yet. Yeah, whenever you realize you have an advantage, maybe if you do play scrims as well, you a lot of times hear people right after they win the fight, they call what enemy team is gonna have, what kind of ultimates they're gonna have, maybe what they're about to use.
Yeah.
That is exactly like relates to this stage where we have to set our resources, and you set out your resources not only positionally but also in terms of just decisions. You will know, okay, because they have this and that, I know what to do now. So that's what we can call, yeah, like setup, scout, engage. Setup, it's not only about the position, it's also about you like set up mentally, I guess, prepare for something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can also do sometimes this even instead of just being set up instantly. What you can do is do slight scout before the fight happens. So let's say you can play over there and then just shoot and see, oh, okay, because you did a scout, you can know some additional information and then set up even better. Like, let's say okay, these guys, maybe they do this rotation, and then you can set up accordingly. Maybe they start going through here and set up accordingly. What's more important, because you're in a poke stage, they can't really kill you. Nobody can really kill you, especially with their team composition right now. They're really broadly team
Yeah.
composition, so abusing angles whenever it's possible is good. Doing early damage is okay if you can, well, you can farm your ult charge too, I'd say why not, but mostly it's just about the information. Once you scout, and if they start rotating, you can just use your shift. You will have it in 4 seconds, and you will have it back for the actual fight. What's really important, you can use your resources in the poke phase if you have it back. That's why once they start walking, you use your shift, boom, you're on the high ground. Now, when they will be over here, it will take like around 3 seconds to probably set up, and then once they jump, you will have your shift as mobility tool, as an escape tool, and that is what's important. Also, think about the positional advantage now, okay? Because like, let's say, okay, I would agree, like, this location, going after this is okay. Like, potentially that can be your kill box, but let's make this kill box look even better. So your team can press mouse one day actively, sure. They can show abilities actively, sure. But if we would also pay attention to the position, because position gives you more chances to get kills, right? If you do just jump in there, yeah, it's kind of difficult because you're not gonna have any positional advantage, right? So
Yeah.
would you agree then this area is more dangerous than the blue one? Because we have the high ground control, because this position allows us to like do more? What or what do you think? Yeah, because this is kind of tricky, I would say. But yeah, let's say Genji or Winston, technically, if they use the high ground, there's positional advantage, so they can get more stuff done, yeah? Maybe they can take angles on this area, but in the blue area, there's only kind of almost one angle of pressure. How can I do so? Yeah, because I now know this matchup, how we set up, what you would do as a Reaper, like what you can do. What do you think? If I would
Pressure their tank.
pressure the tank, we can do so, but right now we do play stack though, if we would lean towards the angle approach. And what do you need to
You mean
do?
like take another angle and do
Oh,
damage, then wraith out?
maybe we can. Okay, can you describe me the specifics of how you do so?
I can go from the point to like those two angles, like
Ah,
the two
okay.
doors.
Yeah, maybe this one, yeah. I would say sometimes you can even look for more flanky option, but you want to be more careful about that because yeah, it's a flank. It's hard for you to get direct support, like maybe with a bubble, etc. So be careful. It requires really, really good timing for you to do that. Maybe if you do teleport, for example, yeah, just do this and maybe
Yeah,
do this or this. Just be careful. And this is more of a safer approach. Both can work, I would say. But anyway, our thing is we want to lean towards the angles. See where your team is. Maybe your team is going over there. Most of your team is going over there. You do want to take this off angle. That's what we would call, like right now, this position would be in
yeah.
a off angle away from your main core. If you have a position, main team, which is more based on angle, especially you as a DPS, most team compositions you do need to take an angle to achieve better map control. Like right now, we can also think about the killbox concept. Where's your killbox? Where is the enemy, your team, so it can get the most stuff done right now, based on where they are.
The kill box is the corridor, like inside.
Yeah,
We
exactly. The
just
corridor. Yeah. And this is also can be helpful once you know the guild books over there. Okay. You can be thinking, well, we have to get more damage through done. That's where your map control is really useful, especially if you play against the Reinhardt, because he blocks all the incoming damage with the shield right now. So
yeah.
technically we don't do that much damage. Yeah, because he can block it. He can also maybe potentially block those important cooldowns too. That's why you do this against those thinker positions. You do the go for the angles. You know where your kill box is. Perfect. Just go in and do stuff in the kill box now. And maybe let's say like the next fight, I can already use this concept. So this went really well for you guys because eventually some of you, let me see, even you, I think you did take an angle control. So that is what we want to do. So you do take an angle control. You can get walled, etc. But you have your defensive resources, and because your second group can pressure, so they can now come forward. And now this is what happens. Yeah, now they get shotted from the back, and they get eventually they get someone, which is really, really good. The McCree got someone, the Zari got someone too, and then just win this point right away.
So when we
Mm-hmm,
like take angles and
mm-hmm.
we shot them from different angles, we won. I
Okay,
think
okay.
I did that. I think unconsciously, but I
Mm-hmm.
need to focus on that in the
Yeah,
future.
it's just something to do. Why I'm focusing on this because of the higher tier games, really, like right there, what would happen? The better team because they're really good at this, like one, in one direction. Like probably team compositions are really good in one direction. Like we did also see in the previous examples, yeah, when the Winston went in, and the first fight I was talking about the Sojourn, when the first fight was happening on the Oasis, yeah, how they just went in and punished you in the room, yeah, because you all guys were
Yeah,
stacked. Right now it's kind of the same. The better teams, they were just going with the speed boost and rush you completely. Maybe if you watch Cloudy on Reinhardt, for example, you just would go in, smash the hammer, like swing the hammer, and everyone's gone already because
exactly.
there's a
Yeah,
wall. Yeah, so maybe if you played against Claudio already, so you're familiar with this because your rank is master, so you're not too far from him too in terms of the
yeah.
ranks. Okay, but anyway, yeah, this is good. What you did.